And a 1279. Hey, y'all, we'll be with you in just a minute, about two and a half, maybe 2:45. Yeah. She just did it. She just got me going already this morning. She got me going. Saw a picture of a woman at a protest over the weekend. There's a picture going around. She was at this very big protest. She, like others, she was wearing a T-shirt that said, "Not my president."
Okay.
Apparently, the young woman, like so many of the others in the group, were in this country illegally. Made no bones about it. And did not like the treatment they were getting at the hands of our federal agents, who, of course, get their orders ultimately from the president. So, therefore, she says he's not my president. I've got a few suggestions that, while not in my usual obnoxious ways, you might find interesting. So, here's first Miss Lady, he's not your president. So, who is your president? He's not your president? Okay, who is your president?
Well,
Can you tell me that?
what right does she have to come into this country and even have a voice in any of that if she's not a U.S. citizen?
Are you in this country illegally
Stupid.
or legally? No? Then why are you here? Is it for some selfish reason, like you want a better life, a better opportunity? A better opportunity than you were able to get while you were living wherever your president rules? Living here, seeking a better life. Why? More opportunities is going to be at the expense of the American people like me. The president nor the government, neither the president nor the government, got to make that very clear. No government has money in this country. They take it from us. The U.S. government operates on money it gets from its tax-paying citizens. If you want to protest something, someone, or a government, why did you leave home? If you're not happy with it here, why are you here?
Exactly.
You could have stayed there and done all of these things, and we really would be just fine with that. Would you be okay with that if she stayed home?
Oh, most certainly.
Mm-hmm. Do you need some help getting back to your home so you can protest to your heart's desire? I dare say that most all of us will gladly in that endeavor. If all you want to do, all you have to do is to stop one of those nice men or women that you see walking around wearing a uniform that says ICE on the back of it. Tell them that you are here illegally and that you are eager to get back home. They'll feed you and provide you with the transportation needed for the ride there. And when you get there, stay there. See, it's simple. All you have to do is ask nicely. No need to protest. Bye now.
Easy peasy.
Now, for you, my partner in crime, we're missing Chris this morning.
Yes.
Wasn't that a nice offer from such a nice person as I am today?
The nice offer, what, staying home?
No, yeah, for her. She can stay home.
Yeah.
She can go home and stay there. That's just an offer.
She just wanted her 5 minutes of fame. That's all. You know, these protesters get out there with the pink hair and wearing silly hats and silly costumes to protest something that is serious, but they're dressed like cartoon characters, acting like fools in the street, yelling and screaming and chanting. If I hear that chant, they've adopted a universal chant, and you hear it at a lot of these protests.
Well,
and
go somewhere else in the
so
universe.
irritating.
And do whatever you want to do with it. I got to be nice, I guess, after catching up on some much misplaced sleep over the weekend.
Yes, I'm glad you did.
So good morning, y'all. I'm Rayford Brown. And this is Live and Local Real Talk.
Yeah, good Monday morning. I'm Lee Barrows.
And what about it? You want to fight about it? You want to fight about it?
I'm ready to go. Let's get this week started.
910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. Chris is out on playing golf or fishing or
on a retreat.
He's on a retreat. He's advancing to the rear.
He has retreated. He's retreated.
Remember F Troop?
Yes, I didn't watch it much, but I remember the show.
They advanced to the rear.
Advanced to the rear.
They didn't call it retreating. They just advanced to the rear real fast.
Right.
When the tough, what he got going.
When the tough got going?
No, when it was tough out there, they took off in the opposite direction, advancing to the rear to hold the back lines. Hold the back lines. Okay, one day closer. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tamale. Hopefully David's going to be out there, and we're going to be riding over there to Watha.
What?
We're going to Watha.
You're going to Waha?
Watha. You know where Watha is?
Yeah, are you going to pick up your greenhouse?
Hopefully David says we can go tomorrow. He's going to have the trailer available. It's loaded right now. So by tomorrow we go pick up this greenhouse.
So you're going to drive it back loaded on the trailer, right?
Not me. He is.
Oh, well, good.
I'm going to ride with him.
I see disaster coming.
Why?
If you were hauling it.
I've hauled really big boats that are a whole lot bigger than that.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Yeah, I have to say, but it just
a lot taller too.
Coming from Watha. Now, where is Watha at? That's up
over yonder.
Over yonder, north.
Go towards Burjaw.
Burgaw. Oh my!
You go to near Burjaw and hang a right on 117 and go that way.
Oh, okay. That's even more reason for me not to be driving. You have to take those back roads.
53 to 117.
I don't like 53.
53 is great.
Really? Have they 4-laned it yet?
No. A 4-lane would just increase the traffic.
I want 4 lanes.
It would be more. It would encourage, like Piney Green Road. They widened it and they just encourage more people to come.
Yes.
I didn't do it.
I told you that I had to go.
And you screwed up.
No, that was Samson. And it was for a tractor pull. And the Wilson County GOP had a booth out there, so I went to help them.
Why would the grand old party get out there and pull tractors?
They weren't doing it. They had a booth out there.
So they just sat on the sidelines while other people pulled tractors.
Well, you and Chris were telling me, I was like, what's a tractor pull? You know, I'm sorry, but I just was not familiar with it. And you were saying, there are guys out there with ropes tied to the tractors and they're pulling the tractors. Did you see the video I sent you?
No.
I did. There was nobody involved with ropes trying to pull a tractor.
What did they do?
It was like this big, like, truck that was all flat. It looked like a barge is what it looked like. And it was pushing tractors.
Oh, what a fake.
I don't know why you...
That's fake.
It was pretty cool, Rayford. I got my NASCAR Barbie on just watching it. It was pretty cool, but I was just like, y'all tell me there was out there pulling tractors with ropes. You were so far wrong. But let me tell you what, it's a big thing because there was people coming from all over the United States, professional teams doing this.
They bring their own ropes?
There was no ropes involved.
Big straps?
No straps.
Big honking men?
No. I didn't see any, but...
You looked.
Y'all had me thinking it was men pulling tractors.
You were hoping you were...
I'm like, where's the guys with the ropes? They were looking at me like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, Rayford and Chris are in for it. Yeah, I sent you a video on Teams.
Had another young lady one time many years ago over there, down there in Wilmington area.
Yes.
And she was my very brand new into the South, let's just say. From way up yonder.
Okay.
New York.
See, this is what they do. You've got these big machines, big trucks, and they push tractors.
She was very young.
Oh, so full
very
of it.
blonde, and very into doing the gym thing and doing her stuff.
Right.
And she was about the size of Twiggy, really tiny.
Really tiny.
Really tiny. Why do people like that go to a gym?
They have to build up their strength. Their muscles.
Oh, okay.
And their strength.
Anyway, she came over to me, and because I was a news director, and so she walked down and she said, well, I've got a question. I keep reading and I keep hearing all these things. What's a pig picking?
Well, go pick out the pig you want.
So sitting at the other end of the room was my anchor getting ready for the show. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said, well, you haven't been around here very long, so let me explain it to you. You probably up north, you at your carnivals and stuff, out in the country, you probably had these things where they grease up a pig, and the guys, the good old boys, got it there to chase the pig. So whoever could catch the pig and hold on to it got the prize, right?
Right.
Well, down here we add a little element to that. Barbecue. After they catch the pig, they take it, 4 guys, 1 on each leg, and they take the pig over to the grill, and they tie the pig down on top of the grill.
You did mention to her that they usually euthanize the pig first, right?
No. And then they put an apple in its mouth so that when they start to fire, the pig, you don't hear him screaming and squealing.
Here we go.
And
you traumatized her.
Her eyes got bigger and bigger and bigger. And my anchor, who was he's been around for a while. And he'd been around me for a long time, too. So,
well, I want to tell you.
He and then she walks over. Murph, tell me about a pig picking. And so he told her the same story. She just had a hissy fit.
Yeah.
I'm calling the people, I'm calling PETA. She just went off and off and off. And then later on, and I walked up and I had to tell my boss up there in the front office, and he's from New York, but he knew better. So I told him what I'd done, and he cracked up. So he gave me about 30 minutes, and he came on down to the newsroom, and it was very unusual to see the Holy Grail show up, right? And he comes back into the newsroom. Didn't do that often. Most people in the station did not venture into the newsroom. It was off limits.
Well,
when he came down, she asked him. He told her the same story, and I thought she was going to quit.
You're as mean.
Go back
You're mean. You're mean. Well, this tractor pulling thing is big. They have a National Tractor Pullers Association. And it's the NTPA, which is what National Tractor Pullers Association
really
is the sport's oldest and most respected truck and tractor pulling sanctioning organization. It was cool. I
You
enjoyed
do
it.
know that there are some contests where firefighters actually do put ropes on and pull trucks, right?
This wasn't firefighters.
I know
This
that,
was
but the firefighters could do it, but the guy,
it was
the tractor pullers
it was
couldn't.
like so interesting, and I took a video. Very, very loud. But if you were right there at the track, you had to wear double ear protection. Very loud. But I was there for a few minutes while I was getting some refreshments, and then I
Looking for the
walked back
sweaty
up
men
to
with the ropes.
that. I was looking for them. See him anywhere. I was like, Chris and Rayford, you're both full of doo-doo, making me believe this one thing. I've never been.
The only reason you went was because of what we told you, right?
No, I went to help and be a part of it.
Were you
And,
going to help them pull the tractors, or were you going to be up there on the tractor with the bullwhip?
Hey,
Mush.
hey,
Mush.
hey. That's pretty interesting.
Now, think about that one.
And the big talk this weekend was the big fight with Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. It's the big NBA.
One of them Democrat, one of them a Republican.
No, this was an actual fight, the full fight. It wasn't like WWE. Ronda took out Gina in 17 seconds.
Did she get arrested?
No. No, it was a scheduled fight, and this is real fighting. This is not
sanctioned.
Well, hey, all I've got to tell you is that.
Was it in a dark room with smoky and?
No, this was in a great big ring and a lot of people there and a lot of bets put on it and
illegal gambling.
It was just no. It's not illegal, not in North Carolina.
To gamble.
Remember, you can bet on sports now.
Well, that's not sports. People beating up each other. That's not a sport.
What's boxing?
That's boxing.
Well, this is similar to it. You've got to get out more.
And soccer is similar to football too, right?
Don't start. Chris Miller be calling in.
All right, it is Monday morning, and welcome aboard, y'all. We do appreciate you joining us. You have the privilege of calling in anytime you want.
That's right.
This is a two-way radio type of operation.
Right.
We like to talk to you. We like to hear you talk to us. And I'll try to keep Lee under control so she doesn't badger you too much when you call. It's tough sometimes, but it's okay. Just give us a call if you got something. Politically speaking, how good gracious, I don't even know where to go with that one. We'll get into it all morning long. But first, we had a series of tragic events over the weekend.
Yes.
Beginning last weekend, the Maldives, a popular scuba destination near Sri Lanka.
Oh, yeah.
5 Italian divers. They apparently have drowned in a cave during a cave dive. It was a deep dive, number one, for beginning recreational divers, but the group included experienced professional divers. The depth is not believed to be the problem. All of the divers were experienced, as all 5 obtained rental scuba tanks and air from the same source. An Italian pulmonologist suggests that a problem with the air in the tanks could be the culprit. Cave diving itself is considered risky. There is special training and certification for those wishing to give it a whirl. I only entered the cave underwater one time. That was in Jenny Springs down in Florida. I got into what they call the ballroom or something like that.
Right.
But I didn't very far beyond the entrance. I did not get so far inside that I couldn't see the exit. That's not my thing. I prefer not being in a situation that I cannot reach the surface by swimming straight up. You in a cave, you got to find your way out and then go up. If I have a problem underwater, I go to the surface straight up. It's up yonder. It's not down yonder around the bend through the muck and all the dust and stuff that's been stirred up.
Thank you, but
looking
no.
for it and looking for daylight. No, not my thing.
That would be my luck. Get down there and my air hose had a crimp in it or something.
Well, you carry backup if you're going to be entering a cave. Even entering
forgot
underwater
my
wrecks
backup.
has its dangers. Stirring up silt on the bottom of caves is at the top of the list of problems that kill divers. All 5 are dead.
I saw that, and when I first saw that, I jumped right into the story to see where it was at. I saw it was Italy. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Mhm. A shark attack in Australia.
No, no.
Over the weekend, claimed the life of a 38-year-old swimmer. He was hit while in relatively shallow water, wading around in knee deep, chest deep, whatever depth he was. He was brought back to the beach on some type of a vessel, they said. I'm going to guess it's like a board or whatever. But he never regained consciousness. He was declared dead at the hospital. It was the second fatal shark attack in Australian waters this year.
Where did the shark get him at? Did it say?
Wherever they don't stop with one bite if they got you.
I was just curious. Did he start with his legs first?
I don't know.
See, that movie ruined the ocean for me, Jaws.
I know. Well, you don't want to watch the other movie that I watched last night. It's a stupid movie. It's about a hurricane. Hurricane.
Oh,
along
okay.
the coast of, they say the Carolina. I think they said South Carolina, but a fictitious town along the coast of South Carolina. And it was dramatic only because we could kind of relate to the situation.
Yes.
But it was poorly done. I mean, it's the best they could do it with cheap. I think they were using Super 8 cameras. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't.
I've seen some of those because I like to watch those disaster movies.
It's not a high-end movie, and I forgot the name of it, but I'll look it up again.
I think I know which one you're talking about because it kept popping up on my feed when I would go to YouTube. Was it on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's just wherever. But anyway, it's a movie, and had a hurricane developing into a bigger one. Started out as a tropical storm yesterday, and now it's a category 4.
Oh, wow. What is that, a hawk out there?
No, it's a big old something black bird there.
It's a big bird at the door.
Yeah. Ooh. But anyway, hurricane was on its way in, and the town was being told to evacuate.
Right.
Hard-headed locals said, nah, ain't nothing to it. Other people said, we're getting out of town. They were getting everything they could. Other people stocking up on everything they could. And hurricane was coming. And it was a pregnant girl. She was in her little, looked like an electric car, but it was a little smart car of some sort or another. So she was in it, and she was getting ready, and her mama was on the phone, get out of town, get out of town, get out of town. So there was no way to get out of town, and she got trapped. A tree went through the car.
Of course. I've seen that
and the
movie.
water comes up, and she's very pregnant. Water's coming up into the car.
She got rescued, though.
And then it was touch and go all the time.
Yeah.
And then a girl who I guess she was alone, and she had some PTSD issues and whatever from other situations. Her mom had died recently, and her dad had died a few years earlier. And she was in town, but her uncle was in another place, 100 miles away. He managed to get into a rubber boat, and he and a couple of other people.
Rubber boat.
Well, a raft with a motor on it, the center console, and the town that shined a light over in the town. They were riding up Interstate 17, I-17, and they were riding on where the road used to be, but they were in a boat. So the road was covered with a boat.
This wasn't a Nicholas Sparks movie, was it?
I hope not. But anyway, it was. And and the ocean came in, and the bull sharks were swimming in the streets and into the homes where these people were. And they were getting some people. They were feeding off whatever they could find.
This wasn't a Sharknado movie?
No. I don't know what it was, but they got you hooked once you got started and whatever. But it was, it's fake. But okay, let's see who dies next.
All right, that was not the movie I thought you were talking about, but it sounds like a Sharknado movie.
It was,
which Kelly introduced me to those, and let me tell you, first time I ever watched one, I was like thinking this is poorly done, until I realized it was all satire. And I was like, okay, I get it now.
Okay, let's step outside your comfort zone and take a look at the weather and sea conditions out to 60 nautical miles where I like
Absolutely.
to live. Summertime patterns will continue through the middle of this week with a daily building of winds and seas in the afternoons and evening associated with the diurnal thermal gradient.
Okay, I'm right there with you. The
Late
DTG.
in the week and into the weekend, a frontal boundary is forecast to slide south into the area. This thermal gradient, that means extreme highs and extreme lows. They are there anyway. That's what build stuff. I don't know that we're going to get any really lows, though it did get down into 60 degrees or so in a couple of areas, or low 60s.
It wasn't bad at all. It was nice.
But yesterday was like 92 or something here. So,
I never went out. I never went out.
I don't blame you.
I stayed inside and washed walls and windows.
Today offshore, southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southerly this afternoon. Seas only 3 feet. It's a good couple 3 days here. So if you want to go fishing offshore and get on out there, this is the time to call in sick. Tomorrow, winds out of the south again, 5 to 10, seas 3 to 4 feet. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Still very doable, 3 to 4 footers, a chance of showers in the afternoon. But if you got a small boat, if you want to go out, do early morning, do your thing. And when you see the seas, seize the moment and start making your way towards shore.
Is that see the sea by the seashore?
If you see the sea, if you're in the seas and you see that the seas are getting a little bit on the choppy side, you seize the moment and try to move towards the shore. Seas 3 to 4 feet, a chance of showers in the afternoon.
Today, patchy fog before 9 a.m. Otherwise,
there.
yes, it was clear at my house, but once I got out onto the road, you could see the fog like treetops. Today, patchy fog before 9 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 90. Light southwest wind becoming south 8 to 13 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 21. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 63. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 86. And Wednesday, sunny with a high near 89. And there is a good chance we may see some rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Hopefully, I'll be on the greenhouse looking up at the rain.
I thought you were going to say on the green. I'm like, when'd you start golfing?
On the green.
I can't wait to see the greenhouse.
Yeah, me too. Get it in place and get ready. And I got to figure out a way to strap it down just in case.
Yes.
Randy, one of our ham radio friends, he was out in the southwest area riding his golf cart this morning with his dog Boomer. He had both hands up, busy at one time. He was trying to talk on a microphone.
Yeah, I heard him. Coffee in one hand,
and
microphone.
then one of our guys suggested let Boomer drive. Boomer's is his dog. He rides around with him.
A big dog, a big lab.
Yes,
beautiful.
It's a golden retriever he's got.
You're right. It's a golden
Yes,
retriever.
okay.
You're right.
Anyway, he has 64 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.06 inches of mercury, light fog. He sent me a picture of it. It was up a little high above the houses. No wind, no rain. If you got fog, generally you don't have a lot of wind in the area at the time. Joe down in the borough, 71 degrees, 98% humidity, 30.20 inches of mercury. It was calm and no water in the rain gauge. He's slipped on over to Emerald Isle and called and said it was 72 degrees there. Mostly cloudy though, some overhead clouds. I think it might have been even fog up there, kind of high. Who knows? Light southwesterly breeze at the beach in Bladen County. James reported 68 degrees. Lee here to my immediate left reported 67 degrees over in the Woodlands. 94% humidity, 30.22 inches of mercury, and no wind, no rain. Ward over in Cedar Point had the high today, 72 degrees, 96% humidity, 30.29 inches of mercury. Southwesterly, light breeze, 3 to 5. It's the summertime southwesterly breezes. Richard up in Jones County, he had some fairly decent fog, he said. 100% humidity, 67 degrees, 30.22 inches of mercury, south-southwesterly breeze, almost nothing, around 3. And Ken in Oslo Bay had 60 days, 93% humidity, no wind. Dale called in from River Bend, 65 degrees, 99% humidity, and no wind. And Adriano, he heading up the highway, and he was on the Gum Ranch Road near Richlands, and said it was foggy.
Yes.
They had some fog there. I went outside, and as the sun was coming up, I actually got a picture. It did not look foggy, but when I took the picture, you could see the fog mixed in with the sunlight coming through.
Yes.
And at the other end of the house, down yonder, I got a picture because there was fog down at ground level.
Well, when I came up the road, the only I saw in this neighborhood was right at the end of your driveway. And everyone, please know to expect some fog for the next couple mornings.
Yeah, especially low-lying areas,
Yes.
early morning. It's that time of year. And for those of you traveling NC 24 near Hubert, you know, the little creek and stuff that runs through there. If there's going to be fog, it's going to be right there.
Right off that water.
Be prepared for all of that. Slow your butt down. Now, Adriana did report in some guy on his way this morning running wide open, obviously late for work. And, you know, you put a whole lot of people at risk when you do that.
Exactly.
School buses are on the road. There are lots of innocent children out there. Please.
I'd rather be late than dead.
Be late, be whatever. Just slow your butt down or get up earlier and leave. This week, again, the third edition of the 2026 WCTI Weather Radio Wednesday. Coming up in a little over 48 hours from now, beginning at 11 o'clock. And this one's going to be at the Emerald Isle Sound Ace Hardware Store. So on Emerald Isle, I'm not sure exactly which end of the island that is, but over there, you guys who live over there, you know where it is, or you can Google it. Sound Ace Hardware Store on Emerald Isle. On the 20th, we're going to have Donnie Cox. Donnie and his group, Donnie Cox and the other members of the weather team, some of them in and out, beginning at 11 o'clock up through 6:30 in the evening. And we're going to have some of the amateur radio folks from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club will be there. At least I understand that they will be. I'll find out tomorrow. And they'll be there programming the radios. If you buy a radio, it will be programmed before you leave if you want it.
It's an excellent investment. They'll run you about $55, you know, but it's an excellent investment. And just having the comfort of knowing that if there was really, really dangerous weather around you, you know, possibility of tornado, then you would.
In severe thunderstorms, those things can produce a lot of very damaging winds, lightning, severe lightning. So, and when there's a severe thunderstorm, they're not going to set those radios off. They're not going to activate them for typical, you know, rainstorm. No. But if it gets to be heavy flooding, if it's in a severe weather event, and that includes flooding, because some of the, you know, a lot of rain in a short period of time can flood streets and highways. And that makes traveling very dangerous.
Flash flooding,
ponding. I like that word.
Ponding on the roads,
can send you spiraling out of control. Into
someone's yard,
So,
well, you know, I did want to talk about, there is a warning out right now across 3 states. We've got New York, Maryland, and Southern California. The National Weather Service warns that pollution levels could pose health risk, especially for vulnerable groups. Monday through today, advises those affected to stay inside. Now, I checked with
on your air conditioning,
the North Carolina Environmental Agency, whatever, with our state, and right now for the next 3 days we're under very good air quality.
Go out and take a deep breath of air.
Yes,
it's clean, it's fresh.
But when I saw it was New York City and Southern California, I was like,
Sort standard operating procedure.
go figure that. Go figure. Well, Rayford, what did you do this week? And I know you worked a lot in the yard getting ready for the arrival of your greenhouse.
That was enough. We got her done Friday,
Right.
and did a few little touches up, and Robbie did some rearranging of the deck over here 4, 5, 6, 8 times, 9 times, maybe 10 times.
Yes.
The good thing is the stuff is lighted up, and she never asked me for assistance except to help tie up another body bag. We've got another one. That's number 5 now.
Right.
I think we've gotten rid of everybody that would needed to be gotten rid of around the neighborhood. So the trash pickup people will take care of that rug tomorrow.
And I also got a message from our favorite sports editor, Chris.
I didn't do it.
He said that movie that you watch this weekend is a 2026 horror thriller film. It's called Thrash.
That's it.
Thrash.
Trash.
And it's about a coastal town devastated by a Category 5 hurricane that floods the streets with sharks.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. The film follows survivors as they battle the storm and the predators receiving mixed reviews. And there was, one review mixed with some critics finding it fun.
It sucks, but it'll keep you tuned in.
While others criticize it as a weak script and lunch. Yeah, it does sounds like a Sharknado. But, and I watched every one of the Sharknado movies.
You pull that down. When you've got absolutely nothing to do and you don't want to have to think about a good plot, this is just one to keep.
I like to watch the disaster movies. The one with the meteorite that's going to crash into Earth. The one with the volcano that erupts.
And the poor pregnant lady. I mean, it was like, oh my, and she was all alone.
Well, she made it though, right? Don't spoil it for us now. We're going to have to watch it.
Yeah, you probably need to watch it. But when it comes time to that, just turn it off, okay?
Oh, man.
Let's stink up the pot a little bit with some political stuff and a very short observation. Not a commentary, because what I'm going to say isn't about my political opinions, though I guess you could say it is, maybe. If you're a Republican, especially at the national level, and you publicly stand up and speak out against Donald Trump, you're a Republican, you're in office.
Well, you just signed your
and you're in the South.
Right.
Did I mention that? And for whatever reason, you might be checking off possibilities of getting elected or getting reelected. You want to be reelected. Back in 2021, Republican Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, he voted to impeach. He's a Republican. Impeach President Donald Trump. He was obviously making a statement that if politics was his game, was not the smartest move that he could ever make. As the evening approached the witching hour in the Republican primary election, Cassidy had about 25% of the vote. Challenger and State Treasurer John Fleming had 28%. And Trump-supported Representative Julia Letlow had 45%. Not enough to guarantee a seat, because you got to have 50 plus.
Right.
So now, as it stands, the incumbent, he's done. The one done, forks put in him, he's out. There will likely be some sort of a race with Letlow and Fleming competing for the nomination. Now, she's got 45% in a field of 3. He had 28%. Would you waste the taxpayers' money and go ahead and run? Do you think, if you think you could get the loser, the guy that was up against, because if you even went after his supporters, 5%, do you not think that everybody else would say, oh, Letlow would say, you're going after those people that hated Trump?
But we see it every day, Rayford.
I know.
We've seen so many politicians. Look at Madison Cawthorn.
But they don't consider how much it's going to cost just for another primary, just to narrow it down. I mean, personally, I would look at it that way. And if I got 28% and she had 45% the first go round, in a field of 3. Is she just going to wipe my backside in another run? Just clean it up?
More than
I don't know.
likely. But you know, if you already been there and you were an elected politician and you run again, and you know it's going to be a fight because you couldn't keep your mouth quiet, you couldn't stop yourself. Knew it was like political suicide to do what you did, and you know he's fighting to the very end. Is it a waste of time?
Well,
for
he's
him?
done. He's over.
Yeah, I know he lost.
He's out.
He lost.
Pretty serious note to take away here. Don't make Southern supporters of Donald Trump mad. If you are, even if you're a Republican and you're from the South and you're in a southern southern state like Louisiana, and you get up and you go against Donald Trump, you pretty well are just not real smart.
He couldn't even end it. His concession speech. He had to take another swipe at Donald Trump.
Well, that's just knowing his future coffin.
That true leaders do not pout, whine, or claim the election was stolen. How'd that work out for you?
Yeah. He's pouting and whining.
Yes.
Trump is not on the ballot. He won't be on any more ballots ever again. So that's over, folks. I don't think he could ever be on another one. I mean, he could run for governor if you wanted to.
I mean, they could take a swipe at changing the Constitution.
But his political influence is obvious. It's there. It's going to be there through this upcoming election, the midterms. It's going to be in the next general election, the presidential election.
Right.
His influence is going to be obvious.
Yes.
If you don't like him, then run against whoever. That's fine. Go for it. If you are, I don't how you put it. If you don't like him and you're from the South and you are a Republican, just keep your mouth shut if you want to get elected.
That's the best.
Run on your own merit.
Run on your own merit.
And even if all of you, everybody, every candidate should run on his or her own merit. Mm-hmm. Forget about the party. Seriously. The only thing the party can do for you is give you money and give you some support in a general election. Guess what? If you get as far as the general election, the party is going to support you. Unless it's really outrageous that you're so outlandishly, religiously stupid.
Yeah.
But the party is going to support you because the party wants whoever is the Republican to get elected, right? That's what the party's goal is. Doesn't matter what their qualifications are as compared to the opponent. Either party, both parties, want their person elected at any cost.
Well, we'll see how far the wrath of Donald Trump goes, because tomorrow is the primary in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And Representative Thomas Massey, who's been a constant thorn in the side of GOP leaders in his 8 terms in Congress, that's 16 years, is no stranger to a primary challenge. But this year, has
he gone against the party?
He's been very vocal against the president.
Okay, the president, not the party.
But let me tell you, the president represents the party. It's the same way when Biden was president. That's right. So, if Trump said we're not supporting him, the party's going to sit back and not openly support him. Mm-hmm. They're not going to send him money.
They're not going to do much.
They're not going to do much. They're just going to sit back.
But if he's running against...
Besides, it's a primary. They're not really supposed to.
Right.
Unless he's the only Republican.
Yeah, but in the general election, if he is the nominee, they're going to support him. Right?
They might put his name on a voter guide.
They'll give him money
Right.
because they don't want it taken away by a Democrat.
Well, this
At
race,
any cost, parties will support their person.
this race right now, the Kentucky primary that I was talking about with Massey running for re-election, it's been the most expensive in the House history in terms of ad spending. They've spent more than $32 million in ads, which were largely dominated by Trump-aligned groups. So, see how that works.
I was just checking the Dow tones.
Dow Jones this Monday.
To be
Everybody's
sure,
just
to be sure that nobody's calling
just
yet.
getting their coffee.
Hello,
and
knock knock. Anybody
Yeah.
there? Knock knock. Anybody home?
Yeah, so it wasn't. It was kind of laid back this weekend. I don't want to say the Q word. It was kind of laid back this weekend on political stuff. Not really a lot happening. Thank goodness. A
Well,
lot
it's not
happening
really the
elsewhere.
political season yet. If you've got Labor Day is traditionally the get down and bring out the big guns.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm referring to the fact there was no great big fights or any big scenes or no attempted assassinations.
I've noticed that here in North Carolina that we got a major race.
Yes, we do.
We got a U.S. Senate race.
Yes, we do.
Republican had held the seat for what?
Tom Till, how many
12 years? Did he have 2 terms or 3? I think he had 2 terms.
I think
did
he had 2.
So he was in office for 2 terms, but he declined to run again, decided not to. And the party's nominee is Mr. Watley.
Michael Watley, yes.
And the Grand Old Party, the Republican Party, has chosen Michael Watley. He was a Trump and
2015 is when.
adorned,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Well, Michael Watley is a lawyer from the western part of the state. And in 2019, I think it was, he ran for state party chair. And that was, of course, after the party chair that we had, Robin Hayes, was arrested and thrown in prison for many reasons. And Michael Watley ran, and Jim Womack ran against him. And Jim is from the western part of the state. Well, Michael Watley took it, and he stayed the North Carolina chair for many, many years. And he was really helpful in securing the North Carolina race when Trump first ran in 2016. And then when Trump went to run again in 2020, I think it was 2020. I have to go back and check my dates. But anyway, Trump ended up bringing Michael Watley into the National Republican Party as the chair for that.
And then Trump lost.
And so Michael's been with him for quite a while. And then when Tom Tillis decided to not run again, and he's been a senator since 2015, we knew in North Carolina, somebody was going to have to be really strong in order to take out Roy Cooper, who is the Democratic nominee. So anyway, Trump called Michael Watley one day and said, I need you to do this for me. And that's how it all started. Mm-hmm. Now, I will tell you something about Watley. He's been to every county in North Carolina
here's the
campaigning.
He is considered the underdog.
Right.
Because we got the guy named Roy Cooper.
Latest poll shows him down 11%.
Yeah. So that's
11 points.
Yeah. That's a significant trailing at this point in time.
Yes.
So and that's, to me, that's kind of odd in North Carolina, which is considered a more blue than more red than blue.
Yeah, we're purple.
They call it purple, but I don't really see it that way. The only reason they call it purple is because for whatever reason, the people here vote for the Republican choice for president, but then they have voted for the last few times for the Democrat governor, whoever the Democratic nominee.
Yeah, we've only had 2 Republican governors.
It's like, come on, that's just so strange to me.
It is
that they have such a difference here. So obviously, people don't vote straight party here, even when they could. And Roy Cooper, he had 16 years in feeding at the public trough. He had 2 terms as the Attorney General, of which this is a personal opinion, not because he's a Democrat, because another Democrat that was in there, he was a very active Attorney General years ago, and I liked him. But as Attorney General, Cooper didn't do much. Okay, he did not move the ball whatsoever. Mm-hmm. He ran for office. He ran for governor the whole time he was in office. He used it as a stepping stone, and that's all he did with it. At the office of Attorney General. Period. Bottom line. So then he got to be governor. Ho-hum, what did he do? He was the education governor, and guess where we are? Same place we were when Jim Hunt was the education governor, when Mike Easley was the education governor, and I liked Easley, by the way. He was the AG that I did like when he was Attorney General. Got to be governor, and I liked him during his first term. His second term, he got kind of caught up in a bunch of mess that he shouldn't have done. He should have known better. But, hey, and I still like him as a person. I like his life better than him. But Mary's a very nice lady, and she should have run. I think she could have actually probably won. But anyway, we got Steve. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, guys. Hope y'all had a good weekend.
Oh, we had a great one.
Yes.
Awesome. I did as well.
Had to water my garden twice, though, but it's all right.
I turned my irrigation on for the first time in the garden. And didn't have to do a lot, but did a little bit.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Hey, I heard y'all talking about North Carolina being red or blue, and I think there's a little factoid that most people are not aware of.
What's that? It's pink, right?
Purple.
In the last 135 years, there's only been 2 Republican governors in North Carolina, and both of them were 1 term.
Yeah, we just said that.
Yeah.
So that definitely puts us in the purple category.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first Republican governor was who?
I don't know.
Holshouser. Yes, and then
I think we only had up until Jim Hunt's second go-round, governors could only serve 1 term.
Correct.
Okay, so I think Holshouser could only serve 1 term if I got my timeline straight. So we've had 1 Republican governor who was not able to be reelected. He failed. That was Pat McCrory.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I like.
And then the second one didn't win. Yeah. But if you go behind Hunt, you got to go back over 100 years to find another Republican governor. And that was the first one you were speaking of.
Well, the first one I'm thinking about was Holshouser, and that was in the 80s.
In the 80s?
1970s or 80s, yes.
I'll have to go back and research again. I may be incorrect, because when I looked it up, it said that there was only 2, which was Hunt, and then one was way long time ago.
No,
let me research that again.
No, Hunt was a Democrat.
Oh, okay. That's not the one I'm thinking of. And who was the one before Cooper? I have a hard time remembering his name.
Pat McCrory. Pat McCrory. So
McCrory. That's it. McCrory. Yeah.
He lost his bid for re-election.
Right.
Yeah.
And no other Republican has ever had a chance to run for re-election because they didn't have a second term available.
All wrong.
Right.
Okay.
You had Luther Hodges.
I'll look that up again, but at any rate, statewide, majority of the time we pick Democrats in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Terry Sanford?
Terry Sanford is a definite Democrat.
Says Republican.
What?
Mm-hmm.
My dad voted for Terry Sanford and supported him. He never supported a Republican.
James Hunt was a Republican?
James, you were looking in the wrong place.
Past Republican governors of North Carolina. I'm going to go to Wikipedia. I don't trust
You do not trust whatever you're looking at is absolutely wrong. Jim Hunt was a Democrat. Terry Sanford was a Democrat. Pretty sure Luther Hodges was a Democrat.
I'm like, what? James Hunt?
James Hunt.
Pat McCrory?
I was going to say, when I looked into it, it said there was only, you had in the last
Purdue was a Democrat.
Easley.
See,
Who wrote this?
I don't know, but like I say, everything you've said has been wrong.
I know it has. And I'm like going, what?
She works for
I feel so
Wikipedia.
lonely this morning.
She works for Wikipedia.
No, this wasn't Wikipedia. And I'm just like going, this is not right. Who wrote this?
Is it a news story?
This is a
AI news story.
no,
yeah.
it's not AI.
So then I would fire whoever wrote it
This was just I've already passed
and
by
then
it.
flog them.
We
need to have some flogging. We need to go back to flogging.
Sorry to jump back and forth, but back on the gardening note,
Yes.
I grew something new this year. It ain't new, as far as being a plant, but new to me was rainbow Swiss chard. Have you ever had Swiss chard?
I have not.
Oh my goodness, man! It is like one of my new favorites. I just got it because I thought it'd be pretty, the different colors, and but it tastes great. It's like celery with collard leaves on it.
Oh my, really?
Oh my goodness! And you take and chop it all up, and you saute the stems. You start them first because they're a little tougher, and then the leaves afterwards. Oh my goodness, man! They're great, and they grow all summer long, and they don't mold.
Well, since it's not oyster season, I can't do that, but I can get some clams and put on top of them.
Oh yeah. But I'd heard of it before, never tried it, but yeah, it's really, really good.
Clams Rockefeller.
Yeah, you can eat it raw, just like celery. It's even got, it's got the little stringy things like celery does.
Oh, good.
When you eat it.
Yeah,
it tastes a lot like celery.
That's kind of like floss.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was very surprised by it. I highly recommend it.
And it's called rainbow chard?
Chard, yeah. Which I looked it up. Ironically, it don't come from Switzerland. It's from southern Italy.
Yeah.
But somehow I got the name Swiss chard.
Swiss chard. Okay. I'll have to look that up.
But, oh my goodness, there's a little baby deer just crossed the road in front of me, one as big as a daggone dog.
Oh my.
Tiny little thing.
Slow down.
Just ran across the road.
Catch it.
Safely ran across the road.
That's
and
good.
there was no other deer around it. That's surprising.
We just had a squirrel to fall from over there or jump right down on the other side
Looking for
of
his
the fence.
mama.
And on the garden note too, I got my first cucumber came off yesterday.
Really?
I was so excited, yeah. And the first one always tastes so good.
Yes, it does. You sit there right in the field, right in the garden and eat it. Feel it.
Yeah. It was the soya long cucumbers, the great big ones, and I pick them early before they get any kind of seed or anything to them, but they're not very heavy seeded. But yeah, it was so good. I'm looking forward to the first tomato.
Well, I planted mine weeks later than you. I got a bunch of blooms out there and all that sort of good stuff. So I had some little ones, but it's going to be a while. And I'm, in fact, when I get my greenhouses in here, I will be not using the greenhouse for that purpose, but I will be starting some more seeds for eggplant and zucchinis and zucchinis.
I need a zucchini.
Yeah. I found this year a soya long eggplant. They had them at I want to say S&H.
Is that the long? Is that the long eggplant?
Yeah, that's my understanding. It's the Oriental eggplant, and so I'm interested to see how that goes. But it's a beautiful plant. It's dark green with purple veins running through the leaves and purple flowers on it.
Sounds pretty.
So once again, I just got it because it's pretty. I don't even eat eggplant. I'll give them away to somebody if they grow.
I'll take them. My wife makes eggplant parmesan and actually freezes it. She gets everything ready, does a sauce, and freezes it after she prepares it, takes it out, and whenever we want, she takes out a couple of them and we eat them.
Well, I got 4 very healthy plants right now. I had 4 last year, but they produced like
nothing.
Small eggplant.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know when I bought it. I just got an eggplant, plant, and then when I looked at the tag, it only grew from like 3 to 8 inch eggplants.
Oh, okay.
And I don't even remember what kind it was. So this year I got the one with the biggest. So we'll see.
All right, that's what I like to grow. And I got 1 plant. I should have gotten more, but this was doing very well. I screwed up. They didn't have any more ready to go when I got to
What was that?
eggplant.
Oh, yeah, I almost got one, but I mean, I would not eat enough of it to make it worthwhile for me. I'll just get one of yours.
What?
Yes.
Oh, you could grow and bring me one. I'll give you a
There you go.
zucchini.
My,
All right, guys. That was my rant for today.
Take
All right,
care.
Have a
thank
blessed
you.
day.
You too.
all right, going back, North Carolina has had several Republican governors throughout its history.
According to
with
whom?
notable figures, this is Wikipedia, including Jim Martin, right?
Jim Martin.
All right, 1985 to 1993, he was the 69th governor of North Carolina. Then you had Pat McCrory.
Yep.
2013 to 2017, served one term. And then other Republican governors, and this goes back to Daniel Russell, 1897 to
How about
1901.
Holzhauser? What was he?
And Charles Aycock, 1901 to 1905. Who? Holzhauser?
Yeah.
Eh,
You need a better list. I don't know what you're getting, where you're getting all your stuff from.
I don't know.
Just
I'm looking
why
it
don't you
up.
just put NC governors and look
I've
at the
already
list?
done that, and that's where I just got the list from.
Okay,
I
I'll go
don't
to the
know.
Encyclopedia Britannica. It's better.
Oh, but that's so old. Nobody uses those anymore. They're so
Yeah, you're
outdated.
using fake stuff that's got
No, I go to
Jim
I go
Hunter
to
being
real.
a Republican.
Okay, let me see. He was first Republican candidate to be elected as governor of the state since 1896. So see, there were some before him. He originally sought to become a sports journalist
Who?
before deciding Holzhauser.
Okay, God,
Good.
who you talking about?
Holzhauser. Well, that's who we were talking about. When he won the Republican nomination and narrowly defeated his Democratic opponent in the general election. Wow. Lawyer, another lawyer.
Yeah.
Michael Watley's a lawyer too.
Oh, I know. I
Yes.
try not to hold that against him.
Oh,
He
why?
drives a pickup truck. He's all right.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And we
An
were
old
talking
pickup
about the numbers in North Carolina. Right now we have 2,314,375 Democrats. Republicans, 2,325,362
About the same.
Republicans have surpassed the Democrats right now.
Barely.
And the unaffiliated, those who do not like to take sides or even make a notable effort to
Because we don't like either side.
support either party. I'm only saying that because of him.
We like to vote for who we want.
3,77,688.
We're not subjected to party influence.
Would you stop it? Total voters in North Carolina, 7,768,375, and that's of this past week.
Well, if only 240 of them show up,
North Carolina is a swing state. We'll have to wait and see. But I urge regardless,
that's Chris's state.
people need
Single
to.
swingers, right?
Oh my gosh, people need to get out and vote. People need to get out and vote this November.
Yes.
It's important.
Start now.
We have
Get an
locals
early
that are
start.
running for re-election. We have state that's running for re-election. We have federal, and it's important.
And if Onslow County, which is a large county in the 3rd congressional district, even,
We're the largest.
We are the largest county, folks. I don't care who you vote for, but a showing of 11% means that there's 89% of you that don't don't care who teaches your children.
Well, the two things that I heard,
You don't care who runs your city or your county.
I heard some people say, well, it's not a presidential election, so I don't worry about it. You should worry about it. And the other thing was,
Have you heard about
we
property
didn't know there
taxes?
was an election or primary because this was not well advertised. In the past, we've had the Board of Elections that have flyers and all sorts of stuff. And there was very few candidate signs put up for the primary.
And we have no
I
local
noticed that.
newspaper, really.
And yes,
Other
we
than
have really,
sports.
right. Which thank goodness we have that. But
Yes.
we there's really not a lot of news on it. We had candidates on the show.
We're the only entity here that was talking about politics locally.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of local politics, let me
I
tell
wasn't.
you,
You were.
Jacksonville City Council has their meeting tomorrow night, and public comment is on the agenda to comment about HB 1038
I
Which
don't
is
know
a
what that
bill?
is.
that has been introduced. And go ahead, I'm going to get your work done to drop the ward systems in the city elections and make every seat at large.
Okay. I said something before the show, and it dawned on me suddenly before the show. There are 4 wards, 4 council people, 1 in each one of those wards, representing those wards, right?
Correct.
However, they talk about issues that impact me.
Right.
Every one of them talks about issues that impact me, right?
Right.
And
Because we're
impact
city
you.
residents.
And because we're city residents.
That's right.
Every one of them talk about issues that impact me.
Correct.
But I cannot vote for or against somebody because of the way they vote to support or not support issues that impact me. How is that fair?
Well, my whole thing.
If somebody is in a ward and that's all they want to say, I'm representing my ward, then don't vote on anything that affects the entire city.
Well, you know my thoughts on it. I'm for open and free elections, regardless of your race, your sex, your political affiliation, whatever. If look how long the county commissioners have been at large. We've never
Forever.
had any issue, and they're from all over Onslow County. Why can't the
You
city
hear
be at
complaints from
large?
time to time.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? If you have a complaint, lodge a complaint, go to the county commissioner meeting during public comment and say, hey, we need some help over here. Excuse me, contact your county commissioners, send them emails, call them. Same thing for the city. I have seen some that have talked about, well, my neighborhood representation if it was not for the ward system. Okay, Jacksonville City Council men and women, they represent all the city. So if you're having issues in your neighborhood, call your council person, email your council person, get your neighbors together, do a little petition, whatever you need to do, take it before a meeting.
Guess what?
How is that wrong?
I do not know who is my so-called representative for the city from my ward.
Look at you up.
I mean, I'm sure I do during the election time because I vote for that person, but I also vote for 2 other people who are running at large.
Right. And then we have the mayor
And
that
then the
anybody
mayor.
can vote for, right? Anybody in the city. Let me see what ward you're in.
It doesn't really matter
Yeah,
who it is.
that's
to me.
right. Because you don't even know, do you?
I don't know, don't care. The only place this counts is in a ward where only 100, 200 people vote. Out
Right.
of, what is it, 2,500 in that district, in that ward? 2,500, yeah, registered voter. I mean, not registered, but eligible voters.
You're in Ward 2.
Yes, I am.
Ward 2. All right, let's see who
Big
is
deal.
the...
What does that mean to me? What does it mean for me? Nothing. If I've got a complaint, I will go to everybody
That's right.
because they all vote. I'll file my complaint with every council person there if I have a complaint about this area because the one person, supposedly, that represents me, what kind of power does he or she have
Well,
over the others?
Why should any council person be representing a particular area? They should be representing everyone, right?
Well, they vote on things that impact me. The people that live in the councilman from Ward 1 and Ward 3 and Ward whatever the others are, they vote on things that affect me in Ward 2.
You're going to remember exactly now when I tell you who your
Yes.
Ward 2 representation. Who is it?
He just got unelected, right?
No,
He
it's
didn't really
Mickey
get-
Smith.
Yes, I know that, but I mean the one who was there, our buddy, former city councilman, former city manager.
Oh, you talking about Jerry Bittner?
Yeah,
No, he chose not to run again.
that's what I say. But he was the ward.
Anyway, Mickey Smith. I like Mickey Smith. She's been on our show.
I'm going to go to every city council. If I've got a big enough complaint or a big enough issue, I will approach every one of them, including the mayor.
Right.
If I have a complaint, I'm going to contact every councilman, including the mayor.
Well, I'm in
And
a
if
ward
if I
also.
have one of them from a ward different than the second ward two,
Right.
it says, "Oh, that's not my ward." Then what? Then why are you voting for issues in my ward, my district, my ward?
Well, the thing about it is just like, just a couple of weeks ago, I was telling you about an issue in my neighborhood. Nothing bad, nothing bad. And I called a city councilman who's not in my ward. He's at large.
Yeah, he is.
Took care of it right away.
Yeah.
I needed information. It was a check. And, so I'll call the mayor sometimes and ask him something, but we should be able to call anyone and everyone.
I called the mayor about an issue over in Northwoods one day, and because everybody was the complainant was a relative and had some relative by marriage and was having some issues with a thing,
yeah.
a dead deer.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay.
Did they ever come get that carcass?
Oh yeah, with the mayor, make sure they
Right.
were there, and the supervisor of the
Right.
department it was supposed to have done it in the
Right.
first place was there, but
Well, it's just like a county commissioner. It doesn't matter whether you're from Back Swamp, whether you're from Swansboro, whether you're from the city. Once elected, you're there to represent all the people. And if someone has an issue in their neighborhood in Richlands, contact your county commissioners. Get your neighbors together.
If it's something the county commissioners are involved in handling, they
Right.
contact your county commissioners. If it's something the city council in Swansboro, town
Richlands,
council
right.
in Richlands, contact whoever or
Exactly.
all of the above.
The biggest thing is the city of Jacksonville is very unique because we have the base, the military base.
Yep.
We have Lejeune, Geiger, Marine Corps Air Station, all within the city limits.
Yep.
And because of that, that makes the city of Jacksonville extremely unique. We have 218,000 in population and 133,000 that have registered to vote. Where's the other 70, 80,000? Military on the base because they're counted in the census, but yet they're not a lot of them are not registered to vote here.
Not
Till they
most
can
of them.
figure out how to compensate for that, we're going to always have this problem with the wards where somebody in this ward only needs 125 votes and somebody at large or in Ward 2, Ward 4 needs over 1,000. So it's a very unique situation. My whole thing is I don't believe it's racial discrimination is involved in this. And some of the people, some of the parties have put it out there that they feel it's racial discrimination. I think we need to get past that.
Well, here's the situation. I'm bringing it up again, and I'll continue bringing it up. In Richlands, if you think it's racial discrimination, then I think this person who only represents by
Right.
population 15% of the population of Richlands. So the city of Richlands, 15% of it is African American. Yet an African American was elected. So is that racial discrimination? Give me a break.
I just think we need to get past all this, because I'm a different skin color, blah, blah, blah. I have to have special treatment. And I'm not saying for one, I'm saying for all of different skin color.
If you lived in a community that was 85% African American and a white guy won the election, would that be racial discrimination?
See, that's what I'm saying. I said we need to stop this.
That's the way it would be in Richland if you look at it like that.
Well,
but it's not. Obviously, the people in the city limits of Richlands, North Carolina, are much more smarter and understand that they vote for the person.
We're going to
regardless
get
of-
him on this show. I would
regardless of
really
skin
like to
color.
have him on this show.
It doesn't matter about skin color to the people of Richlands.
Let me see.
Okay, we
I
through with
was
that one
just
yet?
trying to find some information on him. Yes. Rayford, you know, I've
I
always
didn't do
talked
it.
about that I don't like to go to air shows because I'm always scared of what's
Yeah,
going to
I
happen
saw
in the
that
sky.
video.
Over the weekend, two U.S. Navy EA 18G Growler jets collided midair during the second
At an air
day.
show.
an
What, somebody
air
did
show.
something wrong.
And it showed him. It showed him. It showed him just like y'all didn't see each other.
Each had two pilots.
All four ejected.
Yeah,
And,
it was good to see four chutes opening up. I'll
right,
tell you, when I saw
right.
them.
They're successful. This is in Idaho. And see, I've always had that fear going to air show and up there watching, and all of a sudden a plane falls out of the sky or something. But yeah, it destroyed both the jets. Man, I saw that and I was like, I couldn't even watch the video. I started watching it and I saw where they collided, but then I turned it because
They had an air show in Wilmington back in the
Phew.
60s, and TV station there. It was only one at the time.
Right.
WECT was a sponsor. And I wasn't there. I was a kid, of course. But a guy named C.D. Martin, he was out there. And I think some other people were out there, and they were covering it live. C.D. Martin became the general sales manager for WECT. After the air show, there was a crash, and he was critically injured. He survived.
okay.
And I worked with him
Ugh.
later in the 70s
Mm.
and 80s. Well, in the 80s, not 70s, in the 80s. He was there until he retired. But he was a young man back in the 60s when that crash occurred, and it was a massive thing. I think there were several people killed. I know a
Scares
bunch
me.
of people injured, but that was at just an air show in Wilmington. No, I have no desire to be there. I can watch that from afar. I got a long lens on my camera. I liked it when they would fly out over the ocean in Wilmington on their approach to the Wilmington airport. I could sit out there where the flight path was and see where they were coming
Now,
from. and
I
get
love
pictures of
just
that.
sitting outside an airport and watching the planes come in and take off. I love that. I
Mhm.
just don't want to go to an air show.
Well, they're
Mm-mm.
daredevils there, some of them.
Well, these dare to be in front of their CEO coming.
And
I
it's,
mean,
it's like the Blue Angels and those guys, and they're precision flying, and I mean they're almost collisions. They're not
Mhm.
near misses or whatever. They just barely miss in a lot of those cases. And flying upside down, one guy in a group or two guys, every other plane's upside down. Oh,
no, not
what
me.
do you have
know.
to sneeze in a situation like that?
I can't get any direct information on McKinley Smith there, but yeah, he has been the mayor for quite a while. I'll have to research that later. Yeah.
He's a
I
nice
don't
guy
know.
from everything I've heard.
Yes.
Apparently,
yes,
well
great
qualified
guy.
people like him.
Yes. He keeps getting reelected.
Anyone else tired of hearing of the big, beautiful ballroom besides me? Why doesn't the Trump administration, just give up on this whole thing? Trump won't get to use it ever. It's not even the point. It's not his ballroom. He'll be out of the White House, out of a job before it could ever be built at this point in time. Government contracts are forever getting taken care of, right?
Like Piney Green Road?
Let the Democrats have their way. Just let them win.
Right.
Just don't build it until whoever, keep your donations. Don't give your donations to build this place. Hold on to them. Put your money in the bank or give it to me. I'll take it. At some point in time, if the White House Correspondents' Dinner continues, of which I've never been a fan of, as y'all probably know,
Why?
as the boss of a bunch of reporters, do you think I want them hobnobbing socially with the people that we have to do stories on? They get tainted when they do that, and I don't like it. They're not socialists, socializing individuals. Reporters are supposed to be neutral. And if you go in and they eat their food, share their bread, no. you're not neutral anymore. You're there for the public access, to wear the fancy clothes, the tuxedos. You don't dress that way.
I'd go.
I know you would go.
I'd go.
I would. No. I don't know.
It's Tom Austin calling. I would go because, I could still write a story against him come Monday.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, I could.
Let me cut the sound down here.
Yes, please.
All right, sounds down. How y'all doing?
Sounds down. How are you doing, Tom? What's going on?
Doing well. I just now getting a chance to get to the phone, meaning I just finished my first cup of coffee.
Oh.
I want to straighten one thing out real quick about Trump supporters, MAGA, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We do not worship this man. We don't
know how to according to the Democrats you do.
I don't care what these individuals say. What it is that he just happens to have the voice for what we want, what we've been saying, what we believe. I probably would not like to sit down and have coffee with the guy. I mean, we live on two different planets. But our objectives for the United States, for individual freedom, reduced government, and at least an attempt to balance the budget. I know everybody said he's not even trying, but he's trying to correct all the mistakes by that previous group of individuals. So we're just heading in the same direction. It's not the individual, it's the objectives. And as for the ballroom, all that money that the government is screaming about, or the Democrats, let me put it that, are screaming about, are security upgrades. It's not for the ballroom. It is for security upgrades, which the Secret Service has already said is way overdue. That people can just walk in. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to tie two different things together. The ballroom has already been arranged to be paid for.
Yep.
It's the security upgrades, the safety of whoever, whether it's another Republican, a Democrat, a socialist Democrat, or whoever that ends up in office in there. It's for their safety, their family safety, the people working there, their safety. The ballroom's been taken care of. Just the Democrats got to roll everything up because they had zero to offer. And so they try to tie stuff up and throw bricks and mud at people that shouldn't be there. So they just keep confusing stuff. Anyway, that and Lee, I finally got most of my garden in.
Oh, good. Good. Are you growing any melons this year?
I've got watermelons and potatoes and carrots and two different types of tomatoes and cucumbers and beans and zucchini and squash. And
what kind of watermelons you growing?
Just sweet watermelons.
I like
watermelon.
I really like watermelon.
Well, Steve said
if they grow up, because I have zero luck with the watermelons. The best I've ever gotten was something the size of a softball. Okay. So maybe I'll go ahead and get one into you.
If it's good, that would be great. Love it.
You should come in with us one morning.
My dad, he bought a plot of land because he was not a farmer, but he grew up on a farm. And he planted some watermelons a couple of years, and some of those watermelons weighed 40 pounds apiece. He sold them to the Piggly Wiggly store here in Jacksonville by the truckload. Pickup truckload. Those things produce like you've never seen. Up near Richlands, Gregory Forks area. He had 50 acres over there.
Wow.
He wasn't a farmer, but he just enjoyed playing. Those watermelons were good. Then he fenced it in and turned the hogs in. They bought a bunch of pigs and let them finish out the season on them in the fall.
I should.
That's a good idea. Go ahead and after you harvest, and let them go in there and eat the plants.
Yep.
Yes.
And they'll provide natural fertilizer for the next year.
There you go. And they also provided a lot of ham and bacon.
Yes, they did.
Oh man, back to the pig again.
Do you have a suggestion? Y'all might want to contact the Onslow County. I don't know if you've had them in yet. The Onslow County beekeepers, and see if you can have one of them come in and explain what they're doing with a beekeeping group.
We had them a couple last year.
It's been a couple of years, but yes, they're great.
We'll do that.
They they have an event coming up here. Oh, I'd have to find the date somewhere around here.
So Holly Ridge.
In a few weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Holly Ridge Beef Festival.
Yes.
We were there a couple of years ago for the first one.
Okay.
All right, I'll get the beekeepers in.
Yeah, see if you can get one of them to come in. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I got to finish what I'm doing here. Second cup of coffee.
Get those beans on.
Do some work. The beans. I bought what was it, a 4 or 5 pound bag of beans the other day. I'm going to divide that up to how I'm going to set it up.
Oh, he makes the best beans.
Oh, beans.
Cornbread, and then he has meat in the beans.
Pinto beans with ham and onions.
Oh, yes.
No, you got me with the onions right up front, and the ham is just, that's the coup de grace.
Yep. And sometimes I cook them with beef.
I've never had them with beef, but I can see where a big old beef bone would be really
That's the one I remember the most, was him bringing in a big old pot of pinto beans with beef in it, and he brought us cornbread. It was so good.
Can you imagine beef ribs?
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Some short ribs.
I got these. I got some short ribs. I also got some beef bones, soup bones in here, where I bought a quarter cow last year.
Yeah.
I'm now out of. I got to go buy another quarter cow. That was. I've cooked them that way as also.
Okay.
Just drop the bone and then get the bones in, and all the meat's already fallen off.
Absolutely.
Pull the bone out.
Okay.
This recipe.
Anyway, let y'all go.
You made me hungry, Tom. Thank you a lot.
Be careful.
Yeah,
you too, Tom. Well, I'm going back to a meeting tonight where it's a chicken place and barbecue.
Rubber chicken.
Chicken and barbecue. No, freshly made. I mean, it's a good place.
Rubber chicken.
But would you stop it?
That's
Why? Because you didn't cook it?
Yeah, no, it's because it was just, that used to be one of the things. You know, you go anywhere, you get rubber chicken and garden peas, and the garden peas were not done. The rubber chicken was just.
Oh, no, this place has great fried chicken. Great fried chicken and barbecue and beans.
Let's take a look at the weather out to 60 nautical miles offshore today. There's possibilities of stuff later in the week, but for the next 3 days, including today, looking good. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southerly this afternoon. Seas around 3 feet. Tomorrow, 5 to 10 knot winds out of the south, 3 to 4 feet. Not bad. Southwesterly winds on Friday, 5 to 10, looking good, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. A little bit of a, ride those waves on in when it gets to be the afternoon, you'll be better off. Seas 3 to 4 feet, a chance of showers in the afternoon.
Today, mostly cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing with a high near 90. Light southwest wind becoming south 8 to 13 miles per hour. Winds could gust as high as 21. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 63. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 86. And Wednesday, sunny with a high near 89.
I'm going to wrap up on the ballroom here to get a chance to finish it. I personally, if I was Trump, I'd say, y'all don't worry about it. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to push the security.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay inside the house where they're going to keep me nice and secure. And I'm not running for re-election, so I don't really have to go anywhere. But wherever I go, they're going to keep me secure. They've done it so far. And there's not going to be another correspondence dinner this year. Next year, I don't know if that's going to be up to somebody else. I didn't go to the first one that when I was in office the first go around. So they didn't like me, so I didn't go to that one. I'm not sure why he put another one on. They went for the last couple of them, but I wouldn't go to the last one either.
Look, I believe
I wouldn't do it. I'd just ignore it.
I do believe that if Trump needed a new pair of shoes, that the other side would find an argument against it.
Well, they don't like that color that he's got.
I don't like the color. You can still wear the ones you have. They don't have enough holes in them, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And if it was Obama in there building a brand new ballroom, the other side would be complaining too. So
it's what it is. If the White House Correspondents' Dinner continues at the same location,
right
where it has been at the hotel,
yeah, I don't think it'll ever be again.
Someone from the outside will use inside sympathizers to gain access to the actual ballroom. One day that's going to happen. They've already proven that it could be done. They learn from their mistakes, and they will always learn from their mistakes, and there will be people killed. At some point in time, if that dinner is held at the same location, the current location, with the same amount of security, as much as you can put there, unless you bring in the military and secure everything, and everybody gets naked before they get into the ballroom to be
What?
searched.
There goes naked again.
To be searched, they can
Oh,
run
my
through the
gosh.
screening apparatus like they do to get on board an airplane.
Right.
They can put little hospital gowns on them and let them sit around in their hospital gowns. That's the only way you're going to secure a place like that. And that won't be secured from the air.
Well, Rayford, I know the Secret Service has really stepped up their game. But it's just like we know, I know, everyone listening should know that no matter what all they do, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen, and it's a learn by error, learn by we should have done this or whatever. They can go in there to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, to the hotel. They had all these security features in place, and look, still something happened.
The Secret Service.
They'll learn.
Secret Service.
Write it down.
Is the organization that has to get it right.
That's right.
100% of the time.
Right.
The bad guys only have to get it right once.
Well, you tell me how the alleged perp in the White House Correspondents' Dinner was able to walk past a Secret Serviceman that had a K9, and he had that long-armed rifle with him, and walked past him into the elevator, and the dog.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know why the dog didn't jump him.
It was the Secret Service agent said that the dog was kind of like, a little anxious, but he didn't think anything of it. Elevator doors closed, and there goes the guy. But things are going to happen no matter what you do to keep it from happening.
Well, just don't allow anybody to occupy that facility. That's the only way you can keep it closed. Put an armed unit on every floor and guards on the roof.
Well, if you've ever been watching any of these outdoor rallies that Trump is still doing.
And then what are you going to do for the cooks?
It's true. Cooking, that's right. How do you know they're not poisoning everybody's food in there?
And they got knives.
Yeah. Really. And waiters.
Yes.
You can vet them to your heart's content and think you have the most solid, honest person ever.
Everybody,
and it'll be that one
everybody in the world, every murdering scumbag started out on earth as an innocent person.
Born naked too.
Born naked, and until they committed their first crime and got caught with their first crime that they at whatever, they're not even guilty of being a criminal until they're caught and convicted. So up until that point in time, find yourself a virgin and just walk through until, let them do their thing.
Well, it's
just give up on this whole thing and concentrate on something that affects me.
Yeah, the whole thing with the ballroom, Trump supposedly has all these big major donors that are paying for it. But at the same time, this billion-dollar, whatever, multi-billion bill that's in Congress and being debated, it's not just for the ballroom. It's about security and upping the security throughout the whole White House. So once again, we hear a little something, we take it and we run with it.
Does this make any sense? Even if you're a little challenged in the math department, help me understand, and I'm going to break this down, how the number of hospice care providers in just the city of Los Angeles accounts for 1/3 of the total number of hospice care providers in the entire United States of America.
Here we go.
LA is a big city, I'll get you. With lots of sun-tanned, big-chested people, I admit that. LA has a total of fewer than 3.9 million people, while the entire rest of the whole United States has 349 million people. The city of Los Angeles has only 1% of the population of the entire United States. 1%. But it has about 30% of all of the hospice care providers of the entire United States. The math is simple. Anyone can do it based on the figures provided. Is there any wonder that the federal government is finally looking at LA as another hotbed of Medicare fraud, as it did finally with Minneapolis? I'm thinking that the government's Medicare system could do what it was intended to do if it wasn't fraud and waste in just those two cities alone. If we just cut both of those two cities off, let them finagle their way out of their own problems,
Right.
and provide everything that the rest of the country, the federal government provides those two cities alone, because they are obviously wrought with fraud. Totally. Take it. Do not give them one thin dime. Nothing. And just let the rest of the country operate on that. We can sacrifice two cities, in my opinion. Y'all don't like this. We can sacrifice those two cities completely. Remove them. Totally. I'm sorry for the folks that are there. You shouldn't be living there. Move.
I
As
guarantee
a lot of
you,
you are.
there's so much fraud in so many other states.
There are,
and-
but those two cities alone
Right. That's enough.
if the rest of the Medicare system is as crooked, as overrun by fraudulent billing that we've done nothing about during all of these decades, then we have a serious problem in this country. The first thing you got to do is put a plug in that hole. Stop it where you know it's
Absolutely.
happening and just turn it off.
Well, this has affected Medicaid. This has affected people trying to get help from other resources like nonprofits who are there to help the needy. But a lot of these nonprofits are actually pocketing the money and not doing, as we saw what was happening in Minnesota.
Okay. Now we know the federal government has pointed out the individuals, the businesses, the Medicare providers, those are
Right.
doctors and
Right.
whatevers in the cities of Los Angeles and Minneapolis. They pointed them out who they are. Are they in jail or waiting trial?
But
If we would ever prosecute, if our federal government would go after these individuals, prosecute, persecute, jail them, take away every dime that they've got to pay back the money that they've stolen so far and put it back into the system, the incentive not to commit fraud right up front would be there.
well, Minnesota will never see that money. They'll never see that
No.
money. They're sending a lot of those people out of the country. See you, goodbye,
Yes.
don't come back.
Yep.
And the people that have stolen the money, they don't have the money to pay back.
I hear
mean,
talk
it's
about
just-
a civil war all the time. I have people who've asked me whether I see one in our future. I have answered no. It's not going to happen, a civil war, but I'm kind of revisiting my answer.
Right.
I'll stick with no when it comes to the Civil War like we had 150 years ago. We're not going to see that. Hopefully never, ever again, where you got two sides shooting at each other. But I can vividly see the day that we just totally revolt against the federal government, more a revolution than a civil war, and send them what we think they should get instead of them demanding we pay whatever they want. If we, as individuals, would all send them what we think as a fair share, then let them figure out how to run the country based only on what we choose to give them. Do you think things would be run a whole lot leaner than they are now? Do you think there would be the waste, the fraud that's out there right now? Nope. Do you think the robust salaries that are out there in federal government would be there in the state government?
So you can
Nope.
go back over the years and years and years of fraud and abuse and waste, we could probably pay off the national debt.
We wouldn't have a national debt.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have one. Best way to start the Civil War is at the ballot boxes, though.
Yep.
That's where we go. We need to find candidates.
We have to go out and vote.
Well, first of all, we got to vote,
That's right.
but we need to know who we're voting for or against. We need to find people out there who are qualified to run, and that is tough in itself. And then they've got to get by the political process of kissing the butts of the two groups of people who elect. We don't elect them. They tell us who we're going to vote for, because just like unions, there are unions that tell you what to do. There are unions that control the businesses. There are unions that control the workers.
That's
if
right.
you do not kiss the ring,
you are a
or
scab.
Parts of the bodies, if you do not kiss the ring of the union, you're not going to get a job. Or if you get a job and you're not a union member, you are not going to be thought of too well amongst your other workers,
Right.
who are paying their union dues.
Right. And I saw that happen a lot. If somebody new came in the union, tried to get them to join the union, and they said no, they were an outcast.
They were outcasts.
They were an outcast. And if something happened and they needed help, the union turned their back on them.
Then they don't have to go to the union.
Yep.
If I need help, I go to the boss.
Well, sometimes the problem was the boss. See, was management.
That's always going to be an issue.
Right. So, and unions have a lot of power.
But every boss at the post office has a boss.
Well, that's true. But you generally have to start and work your way up.
That's okay.
You go to your supervisor, your postmaster,
You do that
your
in
district
places
manager.
that are not union.
Well, we know that. We know that.
what's
But
the
what I'm
difference?
saying is, basically what I'm saying is, you have unions like in the postal service.
Uh-huh.
And if you're a newbie and you come in and they want you to join the union and you say no, you're an outcast.
So
And you're
what?
treated as an outcast.
So what? You get your money. You don't have to pay the dues.
Well, that's up to that individual whether they wanted to join the union or not. But I'm just saying there's a lot of good things about the unions and a lot of things that are on the negative. I've been on both sides. I've been a union leader.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, I've been management who
Uh-huh.
had to deal with union leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen both sides of it. There's a lot of positive things about unions, and there's a lot of negative things about unions. I believe the post office wouldn't be so much in debt if it hadn't been for the money they pay out to union grievances. There's a lot of money. A lot. When you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars.
Stamps are no longer 3 cents a piece, are they?
No. I don't mail anything to you. And that's why the post office is going broke. Because that's how they make their money is the product. The selling of stamps, the selling of postage.
All of our
That's where they
votes
make
count.
money.
Your
That's
vote
right.
counts. My vote counts. We don't need a union rep. We don't need a party affiliation to tell us how to vote. We don't depend upon them. When we go to the ballot box, there's nobody who knows how we vote unless we tell them,
Right.
unless there's voter fraud. We vote the way we want. You can be promised anything in the world. You can take the bribes that they give you when you're standing outside. You can drink the moonshine if you want to. That whoever is out there alongside the road at the ballot boxes, at the ballot voting places, you can take the moonshine. You can tell them, yes, sir, thank you, boss, I appreciate that, and go inside and vote the way you want. It doesn't matter. Take their money and then vote the way you think you should be voting. Don't let them. Don't be so cheap. Don't be so cheap that you vote the way they want you to vote. You know what they
You
call a
need to-
person like that if there's a female?
What?
working for a profit, selling the wares.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to tell you, it's very important that you research your candidates. If you have questions, ask those questions. Make your decisions, and don't let others influence you into making a decision because you're ill-informed. You're not informed.
If you're a nice young but not child, experienced individual in the business world, you live in a community, and you want to make a difference, run for office after you do some studying.
Absolutely.
We got one young lady here we know very well, and she is one day going to be a major
Saw
player.
her Saturday at a function.
Major player. She has not been elected. She's made it through the first round.
Talked to her. I talk to her often, and she's always going into a committee hearing or going to some kind of town meeting or some kind of committee meeting.
She's a citizen.
Right.
At this point in time, she is nothing but a citizen with no power whatsoever, but she's learning all of everything there is to know about things going on in this county.
I did meet a Democratic nominee, Democratic young man that is running for county commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him last week, and he's going to come on our show because I like to hear what he's got to say.
So
and I think, that's only fair. And so anyway, I should have him. I'm hoping someday this week I'm having him. But yeah, nice young man. He got up and made a little bit of a speech, and he seems to be pretty cool. So we're going to have him in here and talk to him. Because, we don't have many Democrats on the ballots.
No, we don't.
Not locally. So, anyway, it's important to hear from both sides.
I'm still surprised that in the state where the Republicans slightly outnumber the Democrats,
Right.
but knowing the way that unaffiliated voted, it's 60% to 40%, I think, still the average.
I was going to say that,
60-40.
but I have not seen the latest, so I can't really
I think
say
it's still,
yeah.
it may be higher than that now,
Right.
but it was generally running about 60-40.
Well, I know that the Democratic Party, especially right here in Jacksonville, are really working hard. There is a flyer that's circulating on social media about they are looking for workers to hire $20 an hour.
I got it. What
And
do
this
you
is
want me to do?
the NCAPRI.
I don't know what that is.
It's in North Carolina. It's the A. Philip Randolph Institute. And this is something they do every election year. They get out there and they canvass and they door knock and they do voter registrations. They're supposed to be nonpartisan.
Is it party affiliated?
Well, it's supposed to be non.
Yes, but
I tend to see if you do a lot of research that it's more Democrat than anything.
okay, good.
But that's their thing. That's what they do. So we will see. But, they're already starting and they're out there working hard. And
$20, I can go door to door.
I want to see the Republican Party
$20
step
an hour?
up. Yeah.
I give them 5 hours a week, an hour a day. Is that
Right.
good enough? $100. I have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. If you make a certain amount of money during the year, then they have to give you a 1099. You have to file on that. So best thing, if you're going to make a lot of money off of this, go ahead and have taxes.
I just changed names.
Yeah, see how well that works out for
I
you.
give them a different name each time.
You tell them you're from Minnesota
Yeah.
or California.
Yeah, all right.
Did you hear about the Raleigh man that was arrested this weekend? He's facing multiple charges after authorities say he assaulted both a deputy and a North Carolina Highway Patrol officer
How's his head?
during a high-speed pursuit this past Saturday.
Oh.
According to arrest records, 30-year-old Willis McIntosh III of Raleigh was arrested May 16th by the Pitt County Sheriff's Office and the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. Man, I would have loved to have seen that. McIntosh is charged with assault, inflicting physical injury on a law enforcement officer, felony assault on an officer, felony flee to elude arrest with a motor vehicle, several traffic-related offenses. Assaulted law enforcement while they attempted and handcuff him following a high-speed pursuit. Charging documents state McIntosh repeatedly kicked officers in the leg while officers attempt to detain him, continued resisting while on the ground, and again while being placed into a patrol vehicle.
I tell you, dude.
The
just
Pitt County
stop.
Sheriff's Office said one deputy suffered redness and swelling to the leg during the incident. Investigators also allege McIntosh resisted officers by refusing verbal commands to stop and refusing to provide his name after being apprehended. It just keeps piling up. According to arrest reports, Pitt County deputies were assisting the North Carolina Highway Patrol during the pursuit when the incident occurred. Troopers allege McIntosh initially drove 45 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour speed zone on 10th Street, it's in Greenville, before fleeing from law enforcement officers at speeds exceeding 90 miles an hour. McIntosh drove with his headlights off, crossing into oncoming traffic, ran multiple stoplights, and drove through residential yards during the chase. Good Lord. Additional charges include aggressive driving, go figure, 2 counts of resisting a public officer, driving while license revoked, failure to heed blue lights and sirens,
You're
speeding,
dumb, dude. You're just dumb.
possession of open containers of alcohol
You're
in
just
his
asking
vehicle,
for it, dude.
driving left of center.
Ooh,
Investigators reporting finding open bottles of Burnett's and Mickey's alcohol inside the vehicle. I've never heard of those brand names. Oh,
is that Mickey's from down the street around the barn?
Burnett's and Mickey's alcohol inside the vehicle. He remains in the Pitt County jail under a secured bond. He's scheduled to appear today in court.
That ought to be fun.
What's he's going to yell at the judge?
Oh, God, I hope so.
Is he going to take notice with the judge?
I hope so. You need to get home and watch that one on cable.
Yeah, they should have little bits and pieces. They don't do that much around here.
They got a 15-year-old in the Pitt County jails. Or no, he
15?
15, charged with murder, first-degree murder.
Huh?
In the Pitt County Juvenile Detection Center under no bond.
Oh, wow.
Happened last week, Thursday. It's a 17-year-old. Dejabon Green of Aden was killed, shot to death. He was 17, 15-year-old, charged in the shooting.
My goodness.
Happened in the Grimesland area of Pitt County. Drug-related dispute. Go figure. 2 o'clock in the morning. Go double figure. 17-year-old and a 15-year-old out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Mama, Daddy.
Are they out?
Mama, Daddy, what's wrong?
Well, how about the youngins in Austin, Texas? There's been all 3 have been arrested.
Austin is a hotbed too.
2 of the suspects were 15 and 17 years of age. They were all 3 Hispanic. They were randomly shooting at people over the weekend in Austin, Texas. 12 people were injured. Only 2 that were somewhat serious. The rest were very minor injuries. But just out shooting at people. They had to put a shelter in place in South Austin over the weekend. But I'm going to tell you what, the law enforcement stayed on it. And they were stealing cars. They were hijacking cars, carjacking. Keep your vehicle doors locked.
Yes.
Keep your vehicles locked. Even if you're driving, lock
let
your
me tell you
vehicles.
something, dummies. I'm going to tell you something else too. And I know this one for a fact because I knew the woman, fired the woman, who record that I pulled and was working for the family here until I pulled the record. Convicted of at gas stations. Ladies, when you pull up to the pumps and you fill up your tank, if it's not one of those stations that you filled up with your card at the pump,
Right.
or even if it is, take your keys out of your
Always
ignition
do.
and put them in your pocket while you're
Always
filling
do.
up with gas.
Lock your vehicle.
If you have to leave your vehicle to go up to the station to pay for it, roll your windows up and lock your door.
And I would
Okay.
suggest maybe taking your pocketbook or your wallet and throwing it on the floorboard or put it in the back seat so it can't be seen.
There's this woman. I said, "Why did you do that?" "Well, I just saw it there. It was just a spur of the moment." I said, "You couldn't control yourself?" She said, "Well, yeah, I might have an illness." And she was a nurse.
What?
And she walked over to the car right next to her car where the woman had turned her back and was walking towards the store,
Right.
reached inside and grabbed the woman's purse, put
Sure.
it in her car, and she drove away.
Rayford, just like shopping in the store and putting your purse in the
Do
shopping
you
cart.
have any idea of people that I've seen in other lanes that
Yes.
go around the corner? They get so excited, especially at
Walk
Christmas
away from their
time,
cart and their purse.
they'll leave their purse in there. Would you leave your baby there all alone? Well, maybe you would. I don't know. Maybe there are people that do that. Leave their little infant in the grocery cart while you go shopping.
While you're looking
elsewhere.
at new purses, right? It's just outrageous, and I use the little seat belts for the babies when they sit up there in the little seat and they have seat belts on. I use that and wrap it around my purse and buckle it.
Mhm.
So
You have to do it fast. But
Right.
hard to do it, yeah.
or then I will sometimes lay it in the bottom of the cart and put groceries on top of it, But I never walk away and leave my cart. But it just there's so much out there.
Oh, they do it.
So many hackers, scammers.
There's one fewer bad guy in the world.
Really?
Well, there's a bunch, but there's one in particular.
Okay.
Um,
Do tell.
this one is he's an Islamic Jihad commander. Oh, let's see if I can get his name now.
Oh, yeah.
Israeli Defense Forces took him out. Anyway, top Islamic Jihad commander. They got him out with an airstrike
See ya.
in Lebanon. Eliminated YL Mamoun Abdahel, whatever. He served as the Islamic Jihad commander. In the Bequa region in Lebanon. I can't do any of those things. Give me some. We can put some French names in here or something. The strike that took his butt out was one of 30 that Israel carried out in 24 hours in Lebanon. I don't know how many other people they got, but this was a high-ranking dude. This was one of their primary targets. The others targeted a weapons storage facility. Whoops. Observation posts. Whoops. And structures from which the Hezbollah terrorist organization operated in order to advance terror attacks against IDF soldiers and the state of Israel. Yay for Israel. Go, go, go. We need some pom-poms. Go Israel. Go Israel.
Huh? You can get that. I support Israel pins and flags and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Bring on the when they're taking out terrorists, I'm celebrating.
Of course.
For every one POS individual that they take out, there are people that live. A lot of people live as a result. And of course, unfortunately, for some of those folks, they're the bad people who put yourselves up near the really bad people. You're smack dab in the middle of the target zone. If I was even a bad person, I would disassociate myself, distance myself. If not disassociate myself, I would certainly distance myself. I don't want to stand next to a volcano as it's getting ready to erupt. Do you?
No.
Even if I'm a nice guy, I'm not going to go peering over the edge.
Seen enough of those volcano movies.
That's going to be rumbling and taking on. No, I'm not going to do that. That's called stupid.
It is stupid. Well, you talk about fraud. Listen to this story. This is out of Ohio. Two brothers
Cleveland.
are set to
Is it
spend.
Is it
Yes. Are set to spend the next 2 decades in prison after they were convicted of stealing roughly $21 million while posing as Middle Eastern royalty.
You're idiots.
Zubar and Mazamil al-Zubar were sentenced this past Tuesday, 24 to 23 years in prison. The brothers built a facade of extreme wealth and connections based on lies.
Oh, they lied about what they had, right?
They claimed to be married to a United Arab Emirates princess, and the other brother claimed to be a hedge fund manager. One of the false stories they used to carry out several schemes was to tell investors they owned the vacant Nella Park Industrial Complex. In one instance, the prosecutors say the brothers bilked a Chinese investor out of $17.8 million. They lived a lavish lifestyle, from private jets and luxury watches to a fleet of high-end vehicles and dozens of firearms. Prosecutors say the scheme was carried out with the help of former East Cleveland mayoral chief of staff Mickey Smedley, who assisted the brothers in gaining access to government documents and government officials.
Idiots.
Oh yeah, well, I'd like to know, where do people come up with this stuff? How do they do? And they were dressed as if they were Arabs. They were dressed in the garb and everything. Two Cleveland boys. Like,
What side of Cleveland you from?
Yeah, they put a lot of people in East Cleveland in a terrible situation. They basically flaunted it, their wealth by driving around in Rolls Royce. I'm trying to stop.
You're going to get that.
Rolls Royce by taking private planes. Say that real fast several times. Go ahead.
That real fast several times.
Rolls
Royce.
Say it real quick.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I drove a 1930-something vintage Rolls Royce one time just for giggles and shot photos of it.
Mm-hmm.
It had wood inside the car.
Wood.
It was wood finish.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some of those.
It was like, holy moly. It was not in great shape, but I mean, for its age, it was in really good shape.
These are Ohio brothers, really cool man.
Pictures.
They had it going. Had it going. Jets. Fancy cars. Oh, my gosh. Where do these people, how do they do this stuff? And here we have a healthcare software CEO convicted in a $1 billion Medicare fraud. Medicare, not Medicaid. Brett Blackman was found guilty of leading a $1 billion Medicare fraud scheme using fake prescriptions and illegal kickbacks. Now, let me ask you, and then you wonder why everybody's health insurance policies are going up, Medicare deductions are going up,
like Carolina East
and why hospitals like Carolina East,
canceled taking one particular insurance that I've got to figure out whether I'm going to stay with that insurance plan.
Yep. CEO of Health Splash was convicted in federal court for orchestrating a scheme that defrauded Medicare and other federal health care programs of over $1 billion. And then you wonder.
It's defrauded me of my money because we pay tax dollars into these programs. You understand that, right?
I just want to know how they can get this far. Where were the red flags? Where is the process to conduct audits every so often to ensure that these healthcare companies, that these individuals representing, where are the safeguards?
It's just the cost of doing business.
How can you fraud $1 billion before somebody says, oh, something's wrong?
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
All right, we'll be back again tomorrow.
Yes, hopefully we'll have Miss Gastonia tomorrow. I'll know later today exactly what day she'll be in. And then we've got a couple other people on tap.
Who we have?
Catherine Lee.
Oh, Catherine. Okay,
yes.
Cool.
And Charlie, we're late. We're going off the air now, so catch us tomorrow.
It starts at 7 our time, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 your time, Charlie. So try it then. All right, we'll see you in the morning bright and early. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there. You're live and local Real Talk, where we're always, without a doubt, we're always awake. Never woke. I'm awake this week. Last Friday, I was asleep. Whew. See you tomorrow. Bye.